Welcome, guys, to the Ultimate Cosplay Podcast. Today, I've got my fellow co-host, Talk Custom, as well as the incredible Foxy Gray Beast, Evil Ted Smith. He is
Hello.
known for his incredible foam fabrication work, and I'm super excited to have him on here. We're going to talk about probably everything we'd normally talk about because that's how fun these conversations typically are. So if you guys have any questions, we will answer them at the end of the podcast, try and get some of that actual Q&A going on. And I look forward to getting there because I'm sure we're going to say some things that you guys are confused about. So with further ado, Talk Custom, please join us. What's
Sure.
up, man? How are you?
So I am excellent. And for those of you who don't know me, I will be the host of the second annual, right? I don't know. I'm the host of the 2021 Ultimate Cosplay Championship, and obviously most people know last year we started a contest as a joke because we were bored and we wanted to do something positive, and we made something really cool happen. So these were two of our judges last year, and these are two of our judges this year. And we've got a lot of changes this year that I think most of you guys know about. But if you don't, we can just briefly kind of go over what's different this year because we already mentioned it, and then we can kind of roll into, I don't know, some of our goals, what we're looking forward to, and something that I'm really happy Ted is here for is I want to know what's different for you this year after having been through this last year. What are you going to be looking for?
I'm definitely be as prepared as possible. I was just overwhelmed last year of the level of talent and the people who are novice or newbies. I was like, wait, what? These guys are really good. Like, it's, yeah, I guess I'm going to be a little bit more prepared and less overwhelmed because I was just blown away because it was fun. Like you said, it was very organic, and we thought, let's do a contest because nobody's doing anything, and all these people are dressed up and had costumes for cons, and all the cons got canceled due to the pandemic. So doing a costume contest online was a fun thing to do, and we just got overwhelmed. And I was just so blown away, and I love that it was international.
Right.
That we saw people all across the globe, and that was just like, wow, so darn cool.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be a little more prepared. The thing is that we learned that I normally have a tendency. I have a hard time with costume contests because in my brain, if you build a costume, you won. Like, hey, you made a costume,
Right.
it's yours.
Yep.
Ta-da, you're a winner. And now when you're competing with people, it made me realize that, okay, there's so many good people. You have to start being really focusing on the details. You have to start breaking down everything from the fabric to the foam work, the paint jobs. Because if you got two good people or three good people with great costumes, you have to start nitpicking just to be able to pick one. So that's something I'm gonna be more prepared for this year because yeah, it's just so much great stuff that you have to get really particular.
Well, and that ties into kind of some of the layout and format changes, which again we'll briefly discuss. So last year because we had no time to prepare, we didn't really know what we were doing. We just had two classes. We had intermediate class and master class. There was no categories. There was no real divisions. It was just kind of a wide open thing. We weren't expecting to get 300 submissions from over 30 countries. So this year, we're going to have a beginner's showcase of people that have been cosplaying for less than a year. It's going to be a brief introduction to the show, which is a really fun way to show off some beginners' costumes. And then we've got needlework, armor, and out of this world are our categories. We don't we will not be categorizing people by skill level because the skill level last year was so high. So actually,
Yeah,
Chad, do you want to tell people what out of this world as a category means?
That was going to be my question.
Sure. So with a lot of the contests that I've participated in recently, both as a competitor in TwitchCon and as a judge, there are really two classes of contest. You've got the contests that have both a costume contest as well as a skit. So there's a performance. And then there is the craftsmanship competition. So the Ultimate Cosplay Championship, our contests are all craftsmanship based, right? So how do you break that down though into its subsections so we are able to make sure that people have a place where they feel like they should belong, right? And so some of the examples of categories I've seen in the past would be like armor and needlework and special effects and larger than life, right? Those are the ones that are very common with TwitchCon. Um, the problem that we kind of felt last year was because we were running an international contest, there were so many people that entered. I think we had over 300 people enter, right? There were so many people that entered that the chances of there being high quality costumes was through the roof.
Yeah.
Far more than we expected. When Chris and I and everybody else involved were talking about running this contest last year, we were like, maybe we'll get like 30 people, right? No, 300 later,
Right.
that just meant that the chances of our finalists being top tier was really, really high.
And it was.
Well, it was.
And
Our journeymen, think about it, like
Yeah.
our journeyman competitors were astronomically amazing. Ted was just sitting there like, this person.
Ted threatened to kill people because they were
You
so
said it, not
talented.
me.
He actually said he was
I
going
didn't think we. I was like, he's not going to bring that up, is he?
Right.
Of course.
And by the way, the person you said that to was
Just remember, I
Arborioki.
spared you. I did not point that out. It
No.
went through my head, and I
No,
went,
I know, but
nope.
the person he said that about was Arborioki, who ended up winning
Yeah.
Best in Show at
She did.
TwitchCon.
And also, she's on my Facebook group, Folk Fanatics.
Oh, she's
and
phenomenal.
she's phenomenal, and she does. I'm glad to see she's actually doing tutorials now.
Yep.
And videos and how she
Right.
she paints, and she goes from undersuit. And her other thing she does now, like I love, is that she shoots videos of how she gets dressed and how she gets her gear on, and she does it by herself. Which I don't know if you guys doing costumes ever try to get into a costume sometimes.
Right.
By yourself.
Logistics, man.
Yeah.
It's the biggest danger of armor. I say this to people. It's like, what is the first thing that you work on with a costume? The logistics. How are you going to wear it? How are you going to go to the bathroom? How are you going to do this?
That's the first thing you think about because you've got experience.
That's because I've suffered more than other people.
That's the thing, yeah. And you
Yeah,
always start with
I've
footwear.
put
Make sure
myself
your
through it
feet are
already.
comfortable so that you have
Oh,
a
yeah.
good time.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh, sorry. Out of this world. We
I
didn't
was
finish.
just gonna say you did not do a
Yeah.
great job.
Sorry,
of
it's my bad.
It's fine. Okay, so
Just break
what
it
we
simple.
realized last
Just
year.
think Ted being a simple man. Pretend Ted is a
I'm
simple
getting
person.
there. Leave me alone. We realized that we needed to have a contest that was categorized by the actual armor needlework, the type of craftsmanship, right? Not the skill level. And so what we've done is we've created 3 different categories that are based off of the different types of craftsmanship. We have needlework for anything that is relating to sewing and seamstress work, including additionally, though, some leather working and whatnot.
Correct.
Anything else that's categorized there, you get to choose what category you think you fit best. Okay. The next category is armor. And those are for all of the things that you traditionally would expect to fit in that category.
And that
Now
could
here's-
include larger than life, by the way, because
It can. It really
typically
is. It's
all art larger than life costumes are armor builds as well.
a lot of the times they are for sure.
And
but
or some special
I've seen
effects
like
thing.
large puppeteer costumes
Correct.
that would not be just armor, right?
Sure.
And those are the kind of content, or those are the costumes that you might consider our 3rd category. And that is, as Sammy came up with the name, Out of This World.
Good.
Out of This World is for any of you that feel that your costume spans more than one of those 2 categories that we've already mentioned. If you've done both needlework, but you also have elements of armor, you also have elements of LED lighting or any sort of special effects or prosthesis, anything at all. It's up to you to choose where you feel you best belong, because by doing that, you are acknowledging who you want to go up against in your specific category. Okay. So you either are going to choose to really specialize or you're going to choose to diversify. That's your choice. Each category will have a showdown and a winner, in which we will have prizes for those individuals as well. Because
To specify, forgive me. So each category will have a
Yeah.
3rd, 2nd, and best in category.
right.
So that's 9 winners right there.
The best way to really visualize it is every single category is its own small sub branch or bracket of the
Correct.
competition. If you are the best needlework costume in our contest, you deserve to be praised as the best needlework. same for armor, and the same for the diversified group, which is the out of this world. Okay. The top place from each of those categories will then be put in a 3-person showdown. Now, think about it this way: first, second, third place of like the grand prize category, right? Every single person that wins their category is going to place in the top 3 of the whole contest.
Correct.
And that's what we want to happen. All of you deserve to receive the recognition for your successes, regardless of at what level that is. And that is what this contest is all about. We want to provide the platform and the opportunity for people who are making amazing costumes to showcase, to unveil these, and not be limited just because you're stuck at home.
Right.
So here we are.
Yep.
And yeah,
And
how was that?
we're really,
Good.
truly, we have no idea what to expect with out of this world costumes. It could
Not at all.
It could be
Exciting.
literally anything. Someone could build. I told people if someone could manifest a real ghost, they would belong in out of the, like, just absolutely anything crazy. So, it'll be really interesting, and it'll be for the most ambitious and just over the top cosplayers. So be ready for some wild stuff, Ted.
I'm sitting here. I'm just looking at Ted. I know, Chris, I love you to death, but I see your face all the time through Zoom and Discord. Ted, I missed you so much. It's so good to see
Oh.
you, by the way.
It's good to
I
see
should
you.
have
How was
sat you guys
Bean?
next to each
How's
other.
my best friend Bean?
Oh, Bean's great. Matter of fact, she's not too far.
Best friend, that thing is a hellhound. Are you serious?
Oh, she's a sweetheart. The thing is, she's my Bean. How dare you?
Right.
That's a good day.
So, okay, so we talked about, so those are the layout changes. We've discussed that before, and it is live on our website, which you can find here. I'll drop a link in chat if you'd like to see what all the rules are. And we added some new sponsors. So,
Let's talk about those. Who do you have for sponsors?
So we
now?
have some pending ones, but the ones that we have confirmed, I can't show it on screen because I'm not set up for that. But we've got TNT Cosplay Supply, Twitch.tv, which you may have heard of, is one of our official sponsors.
Who's Twitch?
It's like this.
Who are those people?
I think they make like playing cards or something. I don't know. Or like Lincoln Logs. But
Is that the first time we've announced, by the way, that
yes,
Twitch
this is the first
involved?
time we've publicly announced that Twitch is an official sponsor. We've got
fantastic.
Iwata Airbrush. The Stan Winston School of Character Arts is putting up a lot of prizes.
Ted? Do you see Ted's response there? That's what I was excited to see.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
Stan Winston is putting up like 3 1-year subscriptions, 3 6-month subscriptions, and 3 3-month subscriptions. Anyway,
Wow.
I know you're stunned. Moving on, we've got Plaid and Plaid Effects, Kamui Cosplay, Kimpatsu Cosplay, Punish Props, Fomori Cutlery, Polyprops, which is a UK and
Yeah, they're great. They're equivalent.
amazing.
Yeah, great
and we're
overseas.
working on Cosplay Belgium and Lumens and Red Moon Cosplay, which covers Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the UK, Western Europe. It covers basically most of the world.
Yeah, Red Moon's great. I met
Yeah.
those guys when I was
And
up
then we
there.
got Wonderflex World coming back with Thermoplastics and Wolfgar Weapons and Props. We have, and I think I can say, but we're waiting to hear back from Createx, Airbrush Paints, Smooth On. We've got some contacts there. Dremel, we're waiting to hear back from them.
Right.
There's some
The
more.
list goes on.
What?
The list goes on.
The list will continue, and
Like, I've got my feelers out. I'm just waiting to hear back on some of those ones.
yeah, and like whatever. Oh, okay. So something we haven't formally announced on this podcast since we started is, I'll take the reins on this, and
Please do.
I'm
Instagramming this.
I'm very
Sorry.
excited about this, and we just shared this with Ted like right before we went live, and we've got some very exciting news. So, on Thursday this week, Hoku and my brother, who you guys will meet through a podcast eventually, and myself filed for a business license called Ultimate Cosplay LLC. So we were approved and got a business license in the name The Ultimate Cosplay Contest LLC. So we are officially a community-owned company that will allow us to do cosplay-related events, podcasts, live shows, virtual shows, in-person shows. We've got a lot of plans. I don't want to overstate too much because we have a lot of ambitious things going on. But there are things that will allow us to engage more with the world, the community, not just in the US, but also to, put up booths at cons and do all kinds of fun stuff. So, and this is something that we want to do to, really take care of, people that have been so wonderful to the world of cosplayers, including people like Ted. People like Ted are the reason we did this.
Oh,
And I'm not making that up because you're here to make but there are so many artists that go underappreciated. And I'm not going to talk about my frustration with the fact that a lot of cons will try to hire someone to judge for free. But that pisses me off. It really does. It makes me furious that someone will approach someone like you or Brittany Ganoza or Hoku or myself or whoever and say like, hey, we'll give you a badge. And that's it. How many times does that happen to you or someone you knew, right? And
it only happened a lot in the beginning when I was
Right,
when I first started. Cons reach out, and I'll be honest, I was thrilled. I was like, wow, you could fly me out to Germany for free?
right.
That's awesome. And of course, when I got there, I bumped into Yaya Han.
Yeah, and Yaya was like,
and Yaya was very sweet. She was like, we were at the bar, and she said, I know Tetch because I went through the same thing, but they're selling tickets because people want to meet you, and you're not getting any of that is not good.
right.
So she's like, don't do that. And okay. And then that's was such a great sort of advice. I was very new and I learned a lot, but and I'm still learning. So.
Well, and part of what we're doing is we want to build on that and show the world people's value. So we will have outlets to allow the community to show their appreciation for what we're doing and support us so that we continue to support you guys through literature, educational materials, events, live shows, virtual contests, all kinds of stuff, podcasts, all these things. So Chad, do you want to mention what we're planning for Friday? Or do we want to surprise people?
That's almost you asked him a trick question.
Can you guys keep a secret?
Can you guys keep a secret? Yeah. Yeah, let's do it that way.
We're planning a little something. So as we just mentioned, we believe that when you work, you should get paid. And so obviously what we're trying to do is figure out a way to pay people when they work. Because once again, we believe in that. That's how the world should work. Yeah, so we're gonna do this thing called a Kickstarter,
right?
And
I
we
love
are
the way
going
you
to
set that up. That was brilliant, by the way. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I honestly, once again, we've got a motto here at the Ultimate Cosplay Championship LLC, and that is actions.
Okay, I thought you were saying the other motto. I'm sorry.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. We've got a couple of mottos.
Yep.
Like I'm working on it here, right?
Oh.
I don't want to convince you with words. I want to convince you with actions.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
That is our entire core message. That's our main way of trying to actually show people our intentions. This is exactly what we want to do. But if I sit here and tell you I'm going to do something, you might believe me. If you watch me do it, you're going to believe me. I guarantee it. So we're going to do a Kickstarter. We've got a bunch of really fun things planned. We've got a bunch of collaborations for stretch goals, for, some of the different judges that are involved. Hopefully more than half.
I think it's more than half
merrier,
right now that have agreed to it.
We're going to have some different pieces made available by the different judges for different stretch goals. And all of it goes back into the Ultimate Cosplay Championship LLC, which we can then use to run the events like the online contest. We can use it to pay judges. We can use it to pay anybody who's, helping us out or assisting with that. Cover the costs of shipping and whatnot. We paid for it all out of pocket last year, us judges.
And we
And
were
that's
happy to, because it was very special.
absolutely were we happy
Yeah.
to. We knew it was coming, and that was part of what it was for us. Is it was the only way that we could help our loved ones in the cosplay community. The only way we could do that was give you guys a chance to actually show the costumes you've been working on. Make sure you realize that just because you're stuck at home for a while, you're going to have an opportunity still to be a part of the cosplay community. If I could express it in this fashion, last year's contest was the first time I felt like I was at a convention again. And I love conventions. That is why this contest means so much to me, at least, is because it is the only thing that has ever scratched that itch or filled that void that basically was torn right open for all of us last year. So that's what our intentions are. Fund, the contest, and then also utilize it to expand the brand so we can keep offering more and more events and more opportunities for both cosplayers as well as educational resources, so on and so forth. The list goes on.
Right.
The actual opportunities grow and grow and grow each day. It's like, wow, we could do this. Wow, we could do that. Wow, we've actually got the people involved to truly make a difference. Actions speak way louder than words, and
Right.
we're going to take a lot of actions to help everyone involved.
Yep.
So,
Yes.
And well said. And I think that's all we
Including the
need to
community.
go ahead.
I said, including the community, though.
Oh,
Everybody's
of course.
involved.
And
Anybody who's watching,
something
anybody
that
who's on
like
screen.
I'm particularly proud of is that last year, like, we put up a show because we wanted to, and we put up our own resources and our own work and effort. And
Right.
I think we shared something very special with everyone, and a lot of people have shown a lot of interest in wanting to support us. And this year, we would like to give people the opportunity to do that. And like, I was just showing off this. This is a prototype mug for this year's show, which has all 17 brand names, including the crown logo. So this is one. Chad is holding last year's
I know.
mugs.
I didn't bring my mug. I should have brought my
No,
mug.
no, it's fine. But we'll have that and T-shirts and hoodies and sticker packs and all kinds of cool stuff to incentivize people to support us. And you guys are going to get some really cool merch. Like, oh, I can try to show this off. Got this thing right here. We got these T-shirts that I think people might want at a con that
I haven't
literally
seen this yet.
have every person's name on the back, and then on the front is, our logo. And it comes in black and white. So things like that, like, that's something I would want to wear at a con type of thing. And and then I want to walk into a con and have people be like, what the fuck event was there that had that many judges and that many people? Like, what the hell is that? And
The walking billboard.
right, it is. So
That you can be proud of, though.
right. So and we'll have more, and I don't want to talk too much about it, but I just want to say we are planning on making that fundraiser go
5th?
live on Friday. Ted is going to be putting up, I think, a few limited edition Evil Ted things. I certainly will be. I know Hoku
Yeah,
will
I know.
be.
I just had some things in mind. I think about things I want to make.
Yeah.
And stuff.
So we've got a week to put that together. But I didn't want this to be like a commercial, but like, we appreciate you guys. We're doing this for you. And if you guys
very
choose
much
to
so.
support us, we really appreciate it so that we can continue to do more. And if that means we end up doing 2 shows a year or we do things in person, that would be awesome. Anyway, that's enough about the sales pitch or whatever, because we'll do our own marketing for that. But yeah, I'm thinking. Okay, so I know Ted wants to go do things with a telescope and his kids in about half an hour before it gets dark in Los Angeles. So
Well, no, yeah, it's but I definitely wanted to be a part of this because I think what made the Ultimate Cosplay Championship such a phenomenon because it was just for the love of cosplay, the lack of cons, and the people in the community that we all rushed to go get together conventions for, and it was lacking. So organically, it happened, and everybody came again organically. Everything was organic about that, and I think that's what made it so wonderful, is because it was fueled by passion and love for cosplay. And that's it, plain and simple. And like you said, we all just did it out of our just our spare time. Like, yeah, I'll be a part of it. And sure, it was work, but the payout was so wonderful. Just seeing people, and then when we streamed it live, it was just overwhelming of the fanfare and the love that we got from people. Everybody just chiming in and talking. It was just
Crying.
I was like,
Lots
"Chat,
of crying.
I miss it
Yeah.
so damn much.
Laughing, crying, lots of people laughing at
I
you.
missed it so much. I was like, look at all these talented people. This is so great. And all I wanted to do was stop everybody and take their picture and ask them how they made it and all that stuff. It's
Right.
like, it just was like, just made me miss it that much more. But it filled that void I didn't get by not going, and I got it. And I got it from that con. And the idea that we're able to do it again is just amazing. So big thank you to you, Chad, and Talk, all you guys making this all happen, making this a company, making this a
Well,
thing.
dude, you're
that we
a
can look
part of
forward-
this. You were part of our original crew. Like
True.
our
but
show wouldn't have
it's-
been our show without you. You know.
but I did not do the legwork you guys did. I'm just saying that it's so exciting. The idea that this is going to happen again is amazing.
Oh yeah.
So,
One thing I'm really glad you said everything you said, but one thing I'm really happy that we were able to do is announce it so early this year, because it was like right after New Year's. So we literally, like last year, we didn't give anyone a heads up
we
at all.
dropped it.
It
like
was
a
just
bomb.
like,
yeah.
hey
yeah.
guys, submissions are open. Let's see what happens. But this year we said like, hey, you've got 5 months to finish or start and finish or whatever and submit something, and we'll probably get to see a lot of brand new things that people have never shown or shared with anyone, and we're going to be able to see a lot
True.
of brand new original work.
And magically, like you said, it all worked because people were actually last year. It worked because people were building for a convention, and then
Correct.
everything stopped. So there was a bit of momentum there. But you're absolutely right. This time around, you had to give people more time. So, which when you said, "Oh, we're giving some months," and even in the cosplay world, really,
Oh, it's huge.
Right.
it's a lot of time. But as a maker, like if you want to make something really good, you better get on it quick.
Right. Yep.
It takes time.
No, and one thing that, like, spoiler alert, but we're gonna end this year's show by saying something like, "Hey guys, start getting ready now for the 2022 Ultimate Online Cosplay. Like, you got a year. Start now. If you need a year to make what you're gonna make, start now, because we're doing it the following year." And
Yeah. How did we end last year's?
I
We don't
remember-
know if this will be the first and
I remember
probably
how
the
we s-
last. Oh no, you started
We
it that way.
started the show.
Yeah, you
the
did say that.
The first line of the show last year was myself saying, "Welcome to the first ever and potentially only ever Ultimate Online Cosplay Championship."
It's perfect.
It was
And-
funny. The thing too is that after it was all over with, Talk was like, "Ooh, man, that was fun, but man, I don't know if I want to do that again." And once the smoke cleared and the love came
We
in,
gotta
and people
do
were
it.
just like, "How amazing it was!"
It was, I mean, honestly, it was the 5 months of people texting me every week saying, like, "Dude,
Right.
your guys' event was the best one that happened this year. Please do it again. Like, we need you guys to do it again." And
We didn't
And
intend for
and like I
that.
said, I'm just humbled and proud to be part of it, guys. Thank you so much for reaching out to me.
I mean, as long as this exists, you're going to be in some way attached to or a part of it. And
Is that a threat?
if you take it that way, but something I learned from Hoku was when you do a consistent annual event, it's a good idea to mix things up, change judges. So maybe we'll let you be an honorary judge next year, and then have Core Geek fill in as an on camera and just do things differently. And I even said to Chad at one point, maybe we don't want me to be the host of one of
think
these
so.
years or next year, and he was just like,
That would be an awful decision.
which is a great compliment to me.
Oh wait, I'm being threatened to be murdered on chat.
If Ted, I'm just gonna read it. Okay. So we are going to engage with chat and just cut this out. Smelms, what did you say? If Ted isn't in the next OOCC, I will fly out and murder him.
Okay, so that quote came from last year when Ted said he was going to murder Arborilki. Smelm said in chat during that show a year ago or whatever, he said, "If you win Evil Ted's Judge's Choice Award, you'll get his medallion, his handmade gift, and he will literally fly to where you live and murder you." And it was funny because Smelms was a finalist in Masterclass last year too. But Smelms is one of the funniest dudes ever. Okay, so
It's
back
very
to
funny.
back to the podcast where we
Everyone agrees that you have to
Okay.
be the host, by
Okay.
the way. All right,
Right.
checking back
I guess.
in.
So, yeah, and while Ted's still here, I'm glad you answered your question about what you're excited about, looking forward to. Obviously, there's a lot more judges, a lot more honorary awards, different categories, things like that. And okay, so kind of aside from the contest, if you don't mind me switching gears a little bit. So you had
Good.
your molds come out late last
Yes.
year through Michael's, correct? And how's that experience been for you? It's been what, at least 6 months?
Yeah, it was crazy because it took quite a bit of it to happen and get it all to come together. And as a matter of fact, I had not our dear Chad and my friend Jake, also AKA Shepherd Creations, helped me getting the things 3D printed and then laser cut and molding and scanning. Anyway, it was a huge process to get these molds to Michael's, and it was such a frantic rush that I didn't have at the time when I was doing it, I really didn't have the chance to enjoy the process so much. I just wanted to make sure everything worked and got done. And it wasn't till
It was stressful watching you.
yeah, thank
It
you.
really was.
And it was trying to get everything all together for them.
And I have to say, and it wasn't stuff that you were doing. It was all of the waiting that you were forced to kind of go through where you're just like, well, I have no idea what's going on because nobody's telling me what's going on, but I'm ready to work.
Yeah, and there was corporate contracts and,
Yeah,
the manufacturing. I remember being in LA at Hoku's workshop talking to you, Ted, on the phone about what you were building, and you were having one of those days where you were like, I don't know what the fuck is going on right now, but you were still excited, and that's what helped you pull
and I think
through.
what was once the smoke cleared and I was gonna post about it. I kept trying to find out from the distributors and from Michael's himself. I said, hey, when can we promote this? And so I shot a video and got everything all done. And then once it got the video all shot and everything done, I was able to get everything all together to put out. And
Okay.
keep,
All
yeah,
right.
keep coming. That's
Hello.
She showed up last year during the contest.
That's right.
I remember because I was editing the footage and I was like, I'm gonna leave that in there because Ted's got lovely people that are interested in what's going on there.
Yeah, thank you. Say hello, Heather.
And I was gonna say, so you had the molds thing, and then, oh yeah, people requested that Severo showed up on camera. That was highly encouraged. That if
Oh, by the way, but what ended up happening is that I made a video and everything. I was waiting for it to get the release, and then it wasn't until somebody said, "Hey, they're at the stores at Michael's." And I was like, "What?" So we jumped in the car and we drove out. And I took a picture with them, and I was really happy how they all came together, and how it all came and how it turned out. So
good.
it was very.
And what else? Okay, so that's been going on for a while. And obviously, besides this contest, like, okay, you had a bunch of cyberpunk patterns and videos come out. How's your reaction to that been?
What's that?
How was?
Oh yeah.
And I'm asking, I'm interested a little bit because of the launch of the game. Cyberpunk didn't go as smooth as people expected. So did that have an impact on your?
It's funny. I don't think it did personally. Because here's the thing, I'm not a gamer, but I bought the game, and then when I got the game, I was like, I love it. I love the game. I love the open world. Sure, there might be little glitches and some floating characters and some guns and some things kind of free sometimes, but as an overall, it's just like the game was awesome, and the patterns did really well. And I think as more time the game is out, people are really loving the game. There's the hardcore gamer guys that play the games really religiously that are more technically savvy about it. So they probably are more savvy of what's wrong with the game than for me, because I just like it. But the open world, the cities, the jobs, the odd jobs, the side jobs, buying vehicles, doing these missions, it's like the games. And Project, was it CD Red, right? Project Red.
Yeah,
CD
you
Projekt
and
Red,
I
yeah.
met one of the devs at BlizzCon together.
Yeah, we did, and I was dressed as V at the
right,
con,
and it was funny
they
because
flipped
like
out. They're like, "Why
we
are
didn't
you
know who
dressed as
he
him?"
was, and he didn't know who you were. But like to me, like I was standing there like both of these guys are big deals, but they have no idea about that.
But anyway, as the smoke cleared, now I'm watching, hanging on Twitch. While I work in my shop, I watch other people play Cyberpunk, and people are really digging the game. And I think CD Projekt Red is doing a great job doing their updates. And now this people, the haters are going to do what they're going to do, but I think that's getting pushed aside because after playing the game, dude, the designs, the characters, the city, I just love the whole gangs and the different divisions and the nomads. Is like, it's such a fun game. And my wife, I play it for hours. Like, and sometimes I'll have a day like, and she'll just look at me and go, "Hey Ted, you want to play your game?" Like I'll just unplug and play
That's
something.
nice.
But yeah, the patterns were a
that is
lot of
true
fun.
love.
Yeah, so how are the patterns and the videos doing?
The patterns and the videos are doing really well. And the thing is that when I was, because all the stuff I've made basically is inspired by the game, because none of that stuff is actually in the game.
Sure, yeah.
But I love the concept of I've always loved Cyberpunk. Before the game Way came out, that concept of Cyberpunk's been around
like
for
Blade Runner type stuff.
Yeah, I was
and
gonna say Blade Runner.
And so I love the idea of having enhancements and pieces of parts. So I'm really hooked. I'm already working on 2 more patterns.
Cool.
And from the game, I'm just
I feel like I should award my LED eye for you for this in your honor.
Well, it's funny you said that because TNT Cosplay Supply just jumped into the channel here. So hello to my boss. Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well.
Hi, Tony. Miss you.
The reason I said that is
we
because
can
she
see you
has one of Hoku's LED eyes,
Oh yeah.
which was one of the most terrifying gifts I've ever seen anyone give anyone,
What?
but very special at the same time, nonetheless.
Do you know I've actually made people cry by giving them my eyes?
Something about that sentence.
So I'm gonna do what I always do and tell you guys a fun story, quick and short and exciting. I went out to a convention, Anime Con in the Netherlands, and one of our handlers, 2 of our handlers actually, were these amazingly kind Dutch gals. And at the end of the convention, they'd worked their butts off and they were exhausted and they were super happy how well the event went, but they were so sad because like some of the guests, we'd all become like really close friends. And then so like I was like, this might be weird, but it actually means a lot to me personally. I took out one of my LED eyes and I just ripped it off the microcontroller and I handed it to him. I said, "I'm keeping an eye on you guys."
Yep.
And it's something I actually say somewhat tongue in cheek regularly, right? But they cried so much and they were like, "Thank you so much. And we love this. It's so cool." And I was just like, yes.
Okay, yeah.
I'm glad that worked.
Let's go with it, yeah. That's okay, so I have a question for both of you for the show. So the show's coming up in May. We got plenty of time. And for those of you watching, we're going to be doing this podcast every Saturday. Hoku and I are going to host a different judge or multiple judges, or maybe some of the competitors from last year. But something I'm curious about is, are either of you planning on cosplaying during the show this year? Ted was the only person that did last year.
It was such a last minute thing too. I just thought, hey, it'd be funny.
Right.
And I put it on. And it was. And after a while, I got out of it.
This.
Right.
Sammy and I are sitting there just like hand and fist, like ice cream the whole session. And then Ted like, I look at the camera and I see Ted's face and I just in my head hear F this, and then he just disappears and then comes back out of it. But I think you still kind of had slight raccoon eyes.
Yeah, he looked like he fell out of a chimney because he still had like black makeup all over his face.
Fun.
But no, are either of you planning or thinking about doing a costume for this year?
I'll be honest, and I'll tell you right now, no, I'm not doing that. It's because
absolutely.
My thing is it's that's our dog Bean.
Okay.
It's just my head, so it's kind of hard to really dress up when it's just your head.
But you could, I don't know, like you could wear a fucking crown or something.
Cosplay as Eric Corgeek.
That would be funny. Could he pull that off? He'd just basically you need to paint a bunch of freckles on your face and you're covered.
And shave my face.
And grow like 12 feet.
Right.
Because he is quite literally a giant.
Yeah. People want you to
Wait, so
dress
are
up
you?
like Gene Simmons, Ted. Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm thinking about ideas.
I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't put any thought to it yet. I'm like very, very spontaneous like that.
Well,
It was just,
good.
it popped in my head one day. Oh, it'll be funny. And then the contest took a while. So after a while, I was like, okay,
Really? How long did it take, by the way? So okay, full disclosure, last year Hoku and I had like gotten the timing down to a science. It should have been 2 hours and it should have been 2 hours and 20 minutes, period. And the show was about 4.5 hours. So we went over by quite a bit.
yeah. But the thing is, and
longer.
you know, so the best part about that was nobody cared.
Yeah,
Nope.
and
Nobody cared.
No, we just actually had more people coming in.
someone
was-
said
it-
something to me, and they said, because I was concerned, I was like, I don't want that to happen again this year. So we're going to start the show 2 hours earlier this year to accommodate the people in Europe and
Right.
whatever, stuff like that. But someone said, like, Todd, keep in mind, like, because they know I've competed, I've judged, I've done things like that. And they were like, when you judge or compete at a live con, like, you're backstage or in the green room or prejudging or doing rehearsals for like 11 hours usually. Like if you're at Holiday Matsuri or C2E2 or TwitchCon, it's
That's why-
a
that's-
it's a
that's why I don't
full day
compete.
job. Like it is not just like you show up, you walk the stage, and that's it. Like it is an
No,
all day thing.
And it's not, and you're absolutely, that's not news to me. I know how it works. That's why I never compete. I just love going, hanging out with my friends, seeing costumes and bailing.
Right.
Like the idea of sitting
Bailing.
around. Yeah. It's like sitting around a convention, you paid like top dollar to get, and then you sit back 90% for hours on a Saturday and back in a green room. Just, I'm like, yeah, not worth it.
So if we can basically just run a show that's not obviously not 10 hours long, but give people the full experience of a whole bunch of stuff with a bunch of great people, both on camera and in chat, and you know, people we're featuring, why the hell not? And so someone asked me a question, and Hoku had a great answer to this. A lot of people ask me, why are there so many judges this year? And Hoku had a great answer for this.
Why not?
You tell me, what was my great answer?
His
'Cause
answer
I've
was
got, the problem is at any given time, I've got like 12 answers going
Yeah.
through my head, and I'm going, which one should I use?
But he said, yeah, because we have 16 judges and myself
So
as
what
the
was it?
host.
Now, I want to know what the answer is.
So he just said because we can. This is
Oh yeah.
this is a platform and an environment in which we're able to do that, where we're not
Yep.
tripping over each other, and we can have honorary judges giving out honorary awards that are specific to certain elements, and we can have enough on-camera judges to accommodate an actual experience, you know, and actually have the judges give live commentary rather than just an MC talking about someone while that person, you know, does their display. So we have an event that allows us to do things that in-person events can't do. And also the fact that, you know, we can have people like Spicy Thai from Thailand submit videos, or Samui-san from Brazil, who's going to send things in that we'll have to make subtitles for because he speaks Portuguese. By the way, he was our Best in Show winner last year. So it's really awesome that we can do that. And I think a lot of people are excited about that. And the other thing, if anyone didn't hear, all of our honorary judges and on-camera judges have equal voting power. So it's not like one is more valuable than the other. Like, we're all going to vote, where all the points are going into it. So if someone submits, you're going to be reviewed by all 16 judges. Not me, of course, because I'm not a judge. But I will be filing things.
You
on
do,
your behalf.
however, get your own favorite though.
I do
And
get
that's-
Don't
and that's-
don't
yeah,
don't
that's
cut
one thing
yourself
that-
too short.
I do get my
Yeah. The first,
The other
yeah,
thing is, even if you aren't a judge, you being on screen and people seeing your reaction is going to actually still equate in a way as more or less you are kind of in this really awesome position, Chris, because you're allowed to enjoy the costumes in the exact same way that the audience is.
Yeah.
Right. it's a unique position you're in by not having to be one of the core judges, right? Actually, no, sorry, both judges, because we're doing that this
Right.
year.
Yeah.
Awesome. But that to me is valuable in and of itself, because even as a judge, I get to see the audience's reaction visually in your face. It's why you need to stay the host, because you, in the
Okay.
truest sense of the word, you represent harmony with the audience most of the time, right? You are so transparent with your feelings and your emotions. So us judges, and I think Ted, you'll agree with me, right? Watching you is so much fun because you enjoy every single sensation that you experience.
I'm curious if
It's
the
so
audience would
fun.
agree with what you just said, because I don't know. And I
Who
trust.
feels like they want to be Chris's friend when they're watching him so on stream? Which, by the way, we've never actually seen him so on stream. I don't think
Don't
he's
even
ever
go
actually
there.
successfully sewn.
We're not going there. Okay, so hold on. So we've been live for almost a full hour, and I think we started the official thing about 50 minutes ago. So say we rounded this off to a full hour. I want to make sure that Ted has an opportunity to
Go look at the stars.
well, that, and yeah, so we'll make sure he's able to do that. But no, like if there's anything else, like contest wise or otherwise, that like okay, vaccines are coming out, cons will come back to life. We're all kind of getting ready, and people are getting excited. People are buying
We
products
actually have a
and
new
building.
vaccine too.
So
Johnson and Johnson.
like, and we talked about this like a month ago, like, but things are even better now than they were a month ago, right? Things are
True.
closer to where we want to be. So
Yes.
So like what do you want the rest of your year to look like, you know? Do you have some things you're going to wrap up and then just burst out into cons and, you know, do what you do?
Well, just watching the news and realizing that it's going to be a slow rollout, because even when we get inoculated, it's going to be a long time till everybody's inoculated. So it's like, but I I have things I want to. I realize that I won't lie that I don't. Hopefully, don't speak for myself, but the pandemic really knocked some of the luster out of my productivity.
Oh, you're not the only one.
Yeah, and so I was so used to cranking things out. Now it's just taken so long to make anything getting going, and it's so I'm realizing I'm starting to get my motivation back and getting my chutzpah and my grit back to start building again. Then I'm start working on things I want to build and things I want to do. And the biggest thing I'm looking forward to this year, well, also to this online cosplay championship. My favorite part of this championship is that you get to pick a judge's choice. And the first time I experienced, I was in Germany, Comic-Con Germany, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is that," and oh, you have to pick your favorite. I'm like, "What?" So I thought the concept was so brilliant. Like all the people, but if there's somebody that really stood out to you, that really touched you some way, you get to pick them. And that was something I really liked. I'm so glad we did that in the online cosplay championship as well, so we all get to pick our favorite.
And we had medals and we got to give gifts to those people. And I loved your judge's choice, who was Fancy Jen doing the whole alien reenactment thing. And this year is going to be, there's going to be 17 judge's choice awards, and it's going to be really fun. We actually have 30 total events, or I'm sorry, awards of our 13, you know, primary award winners, and then 17 judges' choice, including my own, which is really cool. So it's gonna be really fun. Oh man, there was something I thought of when. Okay, so something I was thinking about as you were saying, things that we get to launch into this year. So our event is going to come up in May, which hopefully by then, like, a lot of people are vaccinated. There might not be cons, right? But I really hope that this show and the preparation for this show is a huge propellant for people to really get excited about, like, okay, things are happening. I just saw a bunch of amazing stuff. I'm ready to get back into action, start building, start learning, start teaching, you know, whatever. And I really hope that happens, because last year, even though it was the beginning of COVID, I felt all juiced up about creativity for like 2 or 3 months straight. Yeah, and I really hope that this event drives that all the way through when we're able to finally get together. We might not have cons, but we can at least hopefully gather safely and take trips and visit friends and do collaborations. So,
So you just pointed out though, right there, I think you just identified for you and I why we actually incorporated and made this into a legitimate business, Chris, because essentially what you just pointed out is you gave not only yourself but others an opportunity to gain motivation, to get excited about something. And the only way that we can put on more events, and the only way that we can give people more of those pushes and just excitement factor and motivation, we needed to legitimize this as a business.
Yep.
We're going to be in a much better position throughout the next year now. So there's not going to be a year gap between each event. Maybe we can start offering supplementary stuff occasionally along that route. And that way, so by the time people get to a point where they can return to society and start to actually go and attend conventions, they're going to be super pumped and motivated. They're not going to have to wake up out of their funk. They're already going to be just ready to go.
yeah.
That's awesome.
And there's a lot of things, like, yes, Chad was just referring to the fact that we have started a company around Ultimate Cosplay because we understood the value of what we accomplished last year. Not just us as judges and coordinators, but all of us, everyone that competed, everyone that watched, everyone that was part of it. So, and I couldn't be more proud to do that alongside two of my closest friends who's sitting next to me right now. Yeah, but like, this is the beginning of something new. And something I said to, I think, Chad and Ted was like, you know what? If this company fails, who gives a shit? Right? Like, what do we got to lose?
Good memories were made.
Right.
The end.
Yeah, we'll still put on our show and we'll still do what we do. But like,
well, you know what else though we did is we created a benchmark for any future online event to have a good reference point of what can succeed.
Right.
Think about it. We essentially defined a successful online portal or competition in which we could actually genuinely accomplish something that hadn't gone over so well before, right?
Or ever happened.
We started, somebody mentioned this earlier, but we started a trend, and or we set that trend, I guess. And you know what? I'm proud to say I think we have not only started, but we really have put forth the initiative to make sure that it's something that can scale up and continue to grow along this this continuation of our events that we're doing now. So it's pretty awesome. Going ape costume. I have to read this from chat. Beards ?
I saw that too, and I was like, Becky, what are you talking about?
What? Okay.
But Ted, I know you're running out of time, so if do you have anything else that you'd like to share with us before we wrap things up? I know you're excited to go do some stargazing right now.
I wish we could join you.
Yeah, tell you what, just take this opportunity because the live stream format. I want to tell everybody thank you so much for all your guys' support. For all of us, we're all here because of the fan base, and I never forget it. And every time I watch or get a click on my video or a pattern buying, if somebody told me 6-7 years ago that I would be doing this as a profession, I would say you're crazy. And the idea that the reason we're here and I'm here is because of you guys. So thank you. I'm gonna take the time out to say thank you guys for helping me survive this pandemic, help for coming in and watching my videos. Thanks for coming up on my live streams and just being a part of this community, guys. I'm so humble to be a part of it, and thank you. So that's what I want to say to you guys. Thanks.
The thing I love about you so much is that when Ted says that, I know he means it like to an even deeper level than he can even express. Like, and you can only experience feeling that when you see Ted at a con. When he sees you in a costume, or he takes a selfie with you, or he gives you a hug or a handshake, or he literally gets down on his knees and starts bowing in front of people, which I've seen him do. Like, he gets that excited, and anyone who's ever met him knows that. So thank you for sharing that. And I think Hoku and I can echo that as well. That
absolutely.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, just being your friend's kind of an honor and a privilege. So thank you.
All right. Well,
All right, I'm gonna get out of here before I cry.
Once again, guys, thank you so much for hearing or watching our podcast. We hope that you are excited about this contest because we sure as heck are as well. A big thank you to Evil Ted Smith for being a part of the podcast. Ted, can you go ahead and tell everybody what's your social media? Where can they find you?
Oh my goodness gracious, guys. You can find me on the website, eviltedsmith.com. You can go to YouTube, the Evil Ted channel. You can also go to twitch.tv/eviltedsmith, where I stream every other Monday and Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Once again, thank you so much, Ted. We
Oh, nice.
loved
Thank you.
having you on here.
All right,
Oh,
bye-bye.
as a side note, we asked Ted like 2 days ago if he would do this, and he was like, "Sure," because we didn't plan anything. So thank you again for doing this. But everyone that watched, thank you so much, and we're gonna hang out with our community for a little bit. But everyone else, have a wonderful week, and we will see you in next week's podcast.